Unbuckled discussion.
Unbuckled discussion.
This is Unbuckled Discussions.
Unbuckled discussions. Unbuckled discussions.
Unbuckled Discussions. Welcome to Unbuckled Discussions. Hey man.
Recording? Hey
How are
man,
you?
how are ya?
Yeah, we are
fucking
recording. I
well.
figured I'd just let you naturally keep going, you know?
Yeah, nice one. Happy to be here.
So man, I'm happy to have you here.
Yeah,
I'm in
thank
my
you
new
for having
office. I think this is the best my office has ever looked.
It's it's hard to beat. Really hard to beat.
Yep. Why is that?
Well, it's the it's the fucking world.
And yeah, it doesn't even feel like we're in, like, there's so many tents there. According to the camera, we could just be in the middle of the swamp somewhere.
Middle of nowhere, but we're surrounded, you know,
Yeah,
on
that's
all
it.
sides.
So, what's your name, man? I know your name.
My name's Stewie.
Stewie?
Yeah, I'm 26. I'm from Melbourne, Australia.
Yep.
Yeah. Recently moved up to the Byron Shire.
Yep.
To, yeah, really like to escape, you know, to kind of like flee a little bit, and just like live like a little bit more of a freer life, I guess. That was the impetus for it.
Your life wasn't free in Melbourne?
Well, I mean, it was like when I was growing up, it was pretty free. You know, as free as free can be, really. But obviously, everything changed, and with all COVID, so I just thought I'd start again.
Yeah.
You know, and come up to a place where I don't know, people it's just a little bit more relaxed. You know.
Do you feel like you've got what you wanted? What you were expecting?
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, more, so much more. Like, I was kind of like I was expecting less control. I was expecting a more chilled out lifestyle, but I didn't realize how cool the people I would meet were going to be as well. And the way they think, the variety of things that they think, and often conflicting views, but like it's more of an open atmosphere to talk about those ideas and opinions. And
You mean the environment here at Artwork Lodge?
yeah, I think definitely at Arts Factory Lodge, like definitely, but I think also like just in the people I've met outside of this hostel as well, like it's much more open to different perceptions and different ways of being. So I think that's kind of what the area was founded on, apparently, from what I hear. So it's nice to know it's still like that. You know? Yeah.
So you're gonna stay then?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'm kind of I'm in a pickle that a lot of people are in. Like I don't want to be vaccinated. So I don't have.
Of course, COVID had to go up in the conversation.
Well, I mean, we're in the thick of it, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thick's never gonna end. It feels.
No, I know.
So you're definitely not gonna get vaccinated. Actually, we discussed this the other night.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So you're definitely not gonna get vaccinated.
I'm a stubborn motherfucker. I'm so stubborn. Yeah, but nah, I probably won't be.
Yeah. Would you call yourself an anti-vaxxer?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
But it's not like something you preach on the regular, right?
No, it's not something I talk about unless someone asks me, you know, like I'm not gonna, because at the end of the day, like, you know, it's everyone's body, they can do what they want with it, so I'm not gonna, you know, shove down my opinion, shove that down someone's throat. But yeah, I think that for me it just doesn't really sit well. Yeah,
I get you, and I can understand a lot of those points. I guess for me, I'm not, as I've told you, I'm not willing to give up my freedom for that, because like my whole dream is based around traveling, and I'm literally, it's now illegal to do so unless I'm vaccinated. So.
Yeah, and I think it's a fucking dope. It's a dope dream, you know, and I don't think it's something you should give up for. You know, what is it? For all intents and purposes, it's probably not going to hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, just fucking do it and live your life. But
why did you tell
as I
yourself
said,
that?
I'm stubborn as fuck, bro. Like.
Yeah, but
man, I think it's like trauma.
Have you
early trauma? You know, like,
do you think you've done enough traveling?
Well, I mean, I travelled really well as a kid with family and stuff, and like I've been to Europe on my own. I've been to China, I've been to America.
China would have been pretty cool.
China was great. Yeah, China was.
But with family.
Oh no, China was the school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I've done enough that I can say that I've travelled.
Yeah.
But definitely not enough to kind of quench the thirst to see like other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think for that reason, I think you're missing out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand. Like, it's a big thing to
Yeah.
get a jab. And
Yeah.
do you think it's more what's stopping you from getting the vaccination? Do you think it's because they might censor this because the government doesn't like us talking about this?
Fucking oath.
Do you think
They're listening now, bro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Do you have a fuego?
No, I don't. Wait.
Oh,
No. 1 second. I've got one. I've got a box of matches.
Okay, dope. That'll light.
Wait. How about while I'm going to get the matches, could
Yeah.
you play us a song?
Yeah, right. Okay, I'll play a song.
I'll listen.
All right. All right. All right. Oh, you naive soul, child of mine, so unwise. I am here to mold your role, fall in line. And all your secret dreams, they mean nothing for our time. All you see is down, and I followed you. Where I see up is right. All the lives inside of me, good and the other, screaming out that something's wrong. Turn the other way. Find the night within your heart. Blade mix the lover. I know where to go. Hey, now teacher of mine, you said I was a dreamer, but you didn't know all that I see in my mind. As I slip along the conscious flow, I saw a man, a dreamer, a poet, a pen, and it wasn't then, but now's our time. I follow in my life. All you see is down, and I followed you. When I see up is right. All the lives within me won't follow you, screaming this ain't right or mine.
Like that was like, because I know you sang that this morning
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you seem like you were well oiled for it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Got the practice
Man, I
in.
love the end of that song,
Yeah.
like the changes in notes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, I guess. And even in your voice, that end when you change to that high note. in your voice,
Yeah.
that was
Cheers, brother.
monstrous, man.
Fucking oath. Thanks, man.
So I'm sure they enjoyed that as well. So probably more people listening at the moment.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Is that your main thing, music?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, yeah. Well, it's the thing I think I'm most passionate about.
Yeah.
And like I want to do, but like like it's kind of a work in progress.
Yeah.
It takes a while. But yes, like it's what I wanted to do when I was a child.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like followed that. Not initially, but I have begun to follow that more as
Yeah.
I've gotten older.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's like you've come back to what you wanted to do as a child.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, as with anything, you need 10,000 hours. You need to keep practicing.
Exactly. Like it's a long way from home, but it's getting there.
Yeah, it's the same thing like with this, well, it's completely different, but my goal to be able to communicate better, have a conversation better. Sorry, do you want me to?
No, I fucked it. Yeah, go on.
Hopefully this podcast thing doing this podcast can help that.
Yeah.
Because I even noticed the last podcast, and it's actually why I'm quite excited to talk to you, because I think I might get over that hurdle in podcasts.
Yeah.
Because the last podcast I did, I felt like I was just asking too many questions. I was all over the place, and it wasn't structured.
Alright.
Okay, so we
Are we
ended up
on?
talking for 20 minutes, and then I realized I put in a memory card that didn't have enough space.
It's alright, we're just talking about aliens.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
But so what we missed, what we talked about a lot. Let's talk about that again.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Yeah.
make you explain it
No,
twice,
not
but
at all.
but your music,
Yeah.
that song that you sang for us in the beginning of the podcast, what was it about?
So yeah, I've always liked to learn things, but I didn't like school at all, and like I was surrounded by people who like were really gifted. Everyone's got such fucking beauty inside of them, but I don't feel like school brings that out. And I think that it inhibits like a lot of creative expression. I also think it inhibits like a person's genuine. A lot of people have like a thirst to learn, but like it doesn't teach people how to learn or think. It just teaches them what to think.
Yep.
And like it also kind of conditions them to look at a person who's at the front of the room and repeat ad nauseum what that person says so that they get high marks, and then they transfer that into the outside world. So they see some figurehead on TV talking to them, and the figurehead says, "This is this," and then they're like, "Yes, this person is right."
Yeah.
And they don't think for themselves, and it's like, I just think it's wrong. I think like the way it is done is wrong. Like, I don't know how to change it.
Oh, I'm going to change it, actually. It's in my plan. Oh, why am I saying that on camera? My vision, my goal is to build schools,
Right.
but alternative schools.
Yeah.
So schools that will have an... Sorry, I'm hijacking your
You're
story.
not hijacking anything.
But sorry, that was the song was about that particular thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What are you going to do with the schools?
I don't know. I have this vision, something I dreamed about when I was in grade 10, I think, or grade 11, and I told this to my one good friend in chemistry class. I still remember the day. And at the time, I thought it was just some pipe dream, like this can't happen.
Yeah.
But now, as I've gotten older and I've started to do this, traveling around the world with the channel, and I plan to do it pretty much indefinitely for the foreseeable future, at least. I wanted to, I don't know, everybody kept saying, find your why. So I wanted to think of something that meant a lot to me, a good goal for it to all amount to. So that would be building like alternative schools that make it education more easily accessible for poorer communities, have the right subjects to meet the curriculum so that that student can go to university. And also have subjects to teach people about the real world. For example, this is just like a rough draft in my mind, but like you'd have a class that would teach you how to focus mentally,
Yeah.
how to prevent yourself from procrastinating,
Yeah.
different methods of studying, which one might suit you, etc. Just like, and also maybe touch on like depression and all these modern day diseases we're creating for ourselves, right? And then also a class to teach you about investing and building assets, building wealth, not just saving money, and putting it in the bank, but actually building a good foundation to spread your wealth and let your money make money. Plant seeds from a young age. So teach people that. Also literally plant seeds. So have a garden, like a regenerative garden, but a massive one, like at least 100 acres of a garden, like, so a small farm, really small farm, but it'll be enough students. Obviously, if the school started, maybe the garden will be much smaller. 100 acres might be a bit extensive.
Yeah, but like still, like it's fucking, it's good, you know, it's good to shoot for that, you know.
Yeah, and then I can't believe I'm saying this, but the garden would be run by the students.
Yeah.
But also supply food to the local community. So let's say, for example, this is just another idea, but it as an incentive for poorer families to bring their kids to school, maybe they need their kids to help them with work or something, is they'll get a substantial box of food for the week. If they bring their kids to school. But then here's another idea that is just wild in my mind, but maybe like a lot of people would say it wouldn't work, I think, and maybe it wouldn't, but I think if you could make it work, it would be awesome. Is to have half the school rich kids and half the school super poor kids.
Really?
And but then you need to make the school super high quality, like good sporting facilities. Everything needs to be top notch. So that the rich kids' parents are incentivized to pay to send them, because then there's going to be an argument. Oh, I'm paying, but this person's not. They're getting stuff.
Fuck. Interesting. That's hard to do.
But now imagine one of these schools in each African country. Starting with Southern Africa. Like, I don't know, I feel like Africa's missed out a lot.
Oh, it has.
It's got a lot of investment, but often that investment's more profitable for the investor than the country. Or if it is, there's a corrupt person in that country and it doesn't filter down. I think education, it just needs to anyway, that's my vision. So kind of what your song's about, but also this comes to finding the right people who can build the school.
It does.
Investors.
The right team.
And I need to succeed pretty well with this thing. And unbuckle.
I fucking
adventures.
reckon you will. I reckon you will. Unbuckled, man.
Yeah.
You reckon? Fucking knows. Yeah.
Hopefully, man.
You're gonna meet interesting people the whole way.
Yeah, that's it, right? There'll be as you said to me when you first heard about it, that what did you say? I'll never run out of content?
Yeah, you'll never run out of content.
Yeah, that's it.
People are fucking interesting as.
But it is becoming pretty common though. Like, there's a lot of people who are doing this type of thing now, I think.
Yeah, but fuck 'em.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. You just got to do it how you do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it'll work. Yeah, it's school's an interesting one, because I couldn't really complain about it because my parents spent all this money on me going to school and shit, and which was dope, you know, like it was nice that they cared so much about.
Did you go to a private school?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was nice that they cared about my future so much, you know. They loved me and they wanted the best for me, and I don't like blame them at all for the way that school is.
Yeah.
But I just think it can be better. In fact, I don't even really know if we need it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I don't know, because like if you have a look at IQ, is mostly genetic, and also you can't really change it.
Yep.
So like you can get someone, say they've got 100 IQ, you can't get their IQ to 140. They're kind of just like, that's just what they've got, you know, and like there's nothing wrong with that, but
not if they studied or trained or
very minimal
practice.
Very minimal change in the studies that have been done, where they've tried to actively increase the intelligence of a person. There's very minimal change.
What studies are these? Do you know any
I can't reference them, but like I know they've been done. Because I've heard people talk about it. So whether they're bullshitting or not, it's hard to know. So don't take it as gospel. But, it kind of makes sense. Like the kids who were smart in primary school were also smart in high school. The kids who were average, you know, were average. But but like
But there are some exceptions.
there are
I mean,
exceptions, but but I think like maybe. I think like there would be more exceptions. People's genius would come out in better ways if they didn't, because a lot of people just fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
A lot of people's genius would come out in more profound ways if they didn't have to go down the school route. I have a look at like someone like Kobe, for example, who dropped out in year 10, but is smart
super
as a
intelligent.
whip, bro.
Yeah.
So smart, and like can do like so many things with cars and all manner.
he's
of
working as an electrical engineer. I
yeah,
think.
exactly. Like it's like there are so many incredible skills that an individual can learn that they don't need school for.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So
Yeah, I've met a few people now who left school at a young age
Yeah.
and been incredibly successful.
oh, for sure.
Just driven off the bat. No doubt. I think a lot of people are saying it now as well, that you learn a lot more from your experiences as opposed to
Oh, for sure.
just learning to parrot information.
Yeah, exactly.
But in saying that, I've got a lot of friends who are engineers, doctors.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, pretty much that. Engineers and doctors.
Yeah.
Like,
And
couple-
lawyers as well.
Lawyers and teachers, but I've got a lot of friends who are, specifically those two, and
Yeah.
they studied hard, and they're all pretty smart as well.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm not saying it doesn't work for some people. I think it does, and especially in those specialized kind of high intensity.
Yeah, like surely,
things.
do you think maybe you need something like the current system of school for things that like are so important? For example, like a plane engineer.
Yeah.
Whatever that's an aeronautical engineer.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but like because if they make a mistake, it could be like really bad,
For
detrimental.
sure. Yeah. Well, I think you need education still. I just think school, the education system.
Oh, it needs to be changed.
Yeah, and I think like because like the origins of our education system, and this is like this is pretty conspiracy theorist, and I'm a
Yeah.
conspiracy theorist, but
You are?
yeah.
Yeah.
But the origin of our education system, the format of it is because it's not autodidactic. You're not like it's not self-directed learning. I think that's what that word means.
Say it again.
Autodidactic.
Autodidactic.
Yeah, I think it means that like it's like self-directed learning. Like
Yep.
the kid shows interest in one thing, so they get to do that. But our system is not like that, really. Like there are options, but it is pretty like regimented options. And apparently it was based off the old Soviet communist era schooling system, which was designed to create a youth who didn't question authority and who also were taught what they were needed to be taught, but not necessarily needed to be taught so that they can perform valuable skills within a system which was created by the people who created the education system, so that they could have effectively like a more efficient labor force, but nothing beyond that. So it's like it's not enticing someone to be an eccentric.
Enough. We weren't getting anywhere with the conversation. Also, maybe I wasn't contributing to the conversation enough. I was just slamming out questions.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm excited to talk to you, because you've got this. You've always, like, anytime I've talked to you, even if it's about something you're passionate about, you've just got this calm demeanor.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
show
do you
you
want to give it a go?
They're a bit wet as well.
Yeah.
Is it completely wet?
Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe that might be a bit. You
Yeah.
see the thing on the end, it keeps.
Yeah, you have to. Well, now the world's gonna see me light a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, I've just failed 3 times. Oh, that was.
Wow, it's super wet. Wait, it'll work.
Dude, I had a light before, but
You gave it to what's her name, I think.
Yeah.
To Stefan.
This is the mistake I've made. All right, should I go run and get one?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's Stuart. He is Australian. I think he's in his early 20s. Pretty cool guy. Very calm demeanor. Yeah, pretty much as soon as I started talking to him, I wanted to do a podcast with him. He's got a bit to say, but he's not cocky or arrogant about it, which is interesting. I mean, it's a good quality, I think, at least. But yeah, and he's an incredible musician, as you've seen. He wrote that song himself, by the way. Should I even keep this monologue in here? Oh, he's back. That was quick. We were just talking about you, me and whatever the camera's name is.
Oh yeah.
Or whoever's behind there. So how old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, I'll let you
a young
it.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or young looking 26. Yeah.
So why do you think, have you always been, well, I'll let you light your cigarette first, but have you always been so calm when you, like even in, yeah, this is the reason I was excited, because I thought it would be easy because we've had so many conversations already.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously we can make it a bit more natural when there's no camera, but I think we could do that, us two, on camera, because we'll just get lost in a conversation about something we talk about already.
Yeah.
But do you think you've always like had that calm demeanor in discussions and arguments? You know what I mean?
I think initially when I was a kid, like I was very like bubbly and happy.
Yep.
And I'm still like my general like state is happy, but like I think like the calmness came later. Like I think because I was always like really small, like, and kind of like, you know, short and skinny, and like, so I kind of always wanted to, when I was younger, I felt the need to fill the space with my voice or my presence, like in a way, because I was like, I don't know, I guess like insecure about the fact that I was like so much like smaller than everyone else. So the mode that I adopted was like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
big personality because of it.
yeah, and like kind of like cheeky and a little bit annoying.
Yeah. So you don't think you have that quality anymore?
Oh, I can still be annoying.
Yeah. I'm keen to see it.
Yeah.
But wait, maybe at the hostel it's different because it's not your family and stuff. You're probably annoying to close relatives and stuff.
Oh no, I think like I'm generally more reserved, but I think like to the people who know me, yeah, I can be a bit of a dweeb.
As we are, me too. I think for sure. With my family members, I'm a bit crazy. I'm trying to stop caring so much and be that crazy self that I am with my family, that annoying self on camera.
Yeah. I reckon you can do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's hard though, because because you're always thinking, you know, what are they going to think about me? All this crap, but like it doesn't matter, right? And all the best artists, the creators, they always get the best reactions when they're just not embarrassed and put out what they think is good.
Yeah, exactly. And like when they're not focused on what other people think, but it's weird because you got to walk that line between like, I care what other people think because I want them to like the art that I create, but I also can't care so much that it dictates how I create it. So
true. I've never heard it said in that way. That's very true.
It's like it's a weird, but like often like the best ones like there's one guy here, Effie, who he just does not give a fuck.
Not at all. He's a great character.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
And that is a name that people are gonna know. Like
Effie, it's a brand name, isn't it?
Yeah. Effie.
Yeah, I was thinking to interview him as well. He's pretty keen to do it.
Dude, he's
He gets stuff done, Effie.
He does.
You know what I mean?
He really does.
Like people underestimate him and maybe don't give him the respect he deserves or think he's like, but he gets stuff done more than anyone else I've seen here.
Oh yeah, and like he'd be one of the most well-known people in town. He's been here like all of, you know.
Oh, you really?
Oh, bro, he walks through the streets and everyone knows who he is. That's probably because he drives up and down in his fucking huge car, like blasting music with his like. Have you seen him do that?
No, I haven't seen his car.
Yeah. He's got this truck with his name on the back of it. It's pretty funny.
I've seen him carrying a battery in Byron Bay. I don't know why. A huge car battery just down the street.
Yeah. Who knows?
But he's he sewed my homeless tracksuit pants.
Yeah.
For me, the ones I'm gonna do the homeless episode.
Yeah. Dope.
And he sewed them up good. So no, he's a great guy. I'm
talented man.
Yeah, I've been I'm keen to do a collaboration with him actually.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to. Like he's not doing it by the books, but he's got people following him and watching him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Apparently he makes like really high-end bags for yachts.
Yeah. Oh, for women's handbags and like. Yeah, I don't know about the yacht handbag, but like I'm sure.
I don't know if it's a handbag, but it's a custom-made bags to fit in specific spots on the boat. That's what I was told. Apparently they're really high quality.
Fucking oath.
But yeah, I'm keen to see that for sure. But yeah, the Arts Factory has so many talented people doing different things.
It's remarkable.
It's like a place for people to come hide and take a break.
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, because I feel like the people who land here, a lot of them are checking out of society a little bit. They're kind of like turning away from it. And often the people who do that they don't necessarily. Some people do it because because society doesn't work for them, because they don't know how to fit, and that might be because of, like, I don't know, some character eccentricity. But a lot of other people, like, are just like creatives who kind of see the world in a different way than the way they've been taught.
Yep.
And so they come here and then they mingle and they fucking explode.
Yeah, it does. But I kind of, obviously there's going to be like people that go, like, take it all the way, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because but it's almost, I don't know, would you say it's religious?
This place,
Yeah.
I think, well, not one religion,
Not one religion, no,
it's
but definitely
spiritual.
yeah, and committed to their everybody's belief. They're 100% committed to it.
Yeah, they are.
It seems like
And they live it.
Yeah, they live it.
They
True.
live it, yeah. But like, they also live it without the fear of other people judging it. Like, there's people from every walk of life here, and no one cares. It's just they care about the character of the person, and it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is really, and another thing that's beautiful about it, another thing we've discussed on end is the sharing here.
Yeah. yeah.
Everybody shares, like, food and
you're
stuff.
a generous man. So
No, but I'm just like hopefully this gets released after COVID.
yeah.
but
Yeah.
everybody's vaccinated anyway, except some people.
Yeah. Some.
Nah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Cool, man.
On the vaccination topic, back to it. I know. Sorry to come
Not at
circle,
all.
but I think it's ridiculous that the government has made it illegal to, like, in certain states, it's illegal to do things if you don't have a vaccination. Like, apparently some states, you only can go to the grocery store and what else? And, like, petrol essentials, absolute essentials, unless you have a vaccination.
Yeah.
Like that.
I know.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah. That's why I had to leave.
Oh, that's why you left Melbourne.
Well, it's a big part of the reason why I left Melbourne. Other than, spending 2 years in lockdown and no foreseeable kind of change to that at the time. Like, it's obviously they're out of lockdown now, but, like, for how long? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's kind of one of those. So
yeah, and then they went the hardest with all this lockdown stuff. Have you seen all these YouTube videos about Australia, how evil it is?
yeah, I had,
The whole world keeps all my friends overseas are like, what's going on in Australia?
Yeah, man.
And those videos are taking it a bit too far, though.
Yeah, potentially.
They're exaggerating it a little bit.
Yeah, potentially.
Because I feel pretty free right now.
Oh yeah, I feel free. I feel free as a bird right now, but yeah, man. Oh, the cost to people's lives that the lockdown had in Melbourne was, like, phenomenal.
Yeah, everybody keeps telling me about it.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, like, if you didn't live it, well, everyone's lived through. Most people in the world now have lived through a lockdown, but, like, for that prolonged period, like, fuck, man. Like, it's like, I know a lot of people, like, who are on the edge,
Yeah, and that would have maybe pushed them over the edge as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was crazy. I was luckily enough not there, but apparently a lot of businesses failed.
Yeah.
And one of the arguments, a lot of people that I've talked to who are completely against lockdowns, etc., which there seems to be a big population of Australians who are, they they told me that, is it really worth saving a few people's lives over, like, destroying people's livelihoods and businesses and like their whole family, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a good point to think, like, that many lockdowns, it really did destroy business, but
couldn't even bury our dead. You know
really?
what I mean? Well, like, I mean, I couldn't get to my grandpa's funeral in Perth. A lot of, like, we weren't, for a while, we weren't allowed to have funerals.
Yeah.
With people congregating. I think, like, immediate family, maybe, like, there was, like, a cap of, like, 5 or 10 people.
Yeah.
So, like, you're putting someone in the ground that's, like, may or may not have done, like, good for their community. Even if they hadn't done any good for their community, it's like they deserve the send off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they didn't. Most people didn't get it. Like my father hasn't even hasn't even spread his father's ashes. It was August last year that he died. So it's like, you know,
it's a bit ridiculous.
It's
but now he can get across, can't he?
Yeah. He can get to. I guess he can get to WA potentially. I'm not sure. I don't watch the news anymore. But
neither do I. I switched off completely to mainstream.
Effie who fucking does what they want, or like, and you know, but like who also like lives their, you know, their own genius, or lives their idea, or is just different. There's too many people who are exactly the same, and they're exactly the same because they've been taught in the same way, rather than letting their own thing just like grow.
And do you think society would be better if everybody strived to be completely different? Like, how many difference can you get before you're the same as another different?
Yes, it's a good point. I don't think, I mean, like, I think, group mentality is important, you know, community is important. But, I don't know, I feel like we're going to go back to this, but just a simpler way of living, like less detached. You know, like I didn't learn about plants or nature in school. I didn't learn about those things.
I think some schools definitely do teach more real world subjects that'll prepare you for life. And I guess that's I 100% agree. Like, although I might be asking questions that are like opposing it, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, especially with a change needs to happen for sure.
I think it will.
And also more access to education worldwide. It's very certain people in the world have access to easy education, but not everyone, unfortunately.
But it's interesting because like I know you were talking about Africa before. Like I watched a video where there was like I think David Cho was talking about on Joe Rogan potentially that he went to Africa and he was talking to the tribesmen, and they asked where he was from, and he was like, "Oh, I'm from America." And they're like, "Oh, that's the place where people throw themselves off buildings." Like,
true.
So like,
that's a good point.
So like these you know, tribesmen and women who like by like Western standards don't have anything at all seem to have everything, because it's like, you know, whilst they, you know, they might go for a day without food, maybe, but probably not, because they seem to be highly efficient hunters. But like, you know, whilst they, you know, live in like humble means, they seem to be in their soul happier.
Yep.
Like, do you think is that indicative of other parts of Africa, or do you think it's like?
Yeah, I definitely haven't traveled Africa enough yet, because I'm definitely going to do it. But yeah, I've seen a video recently where this YouTuber went to one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes in Africa, in Tanzania. It might be the same one.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
But and I think they're in the northern part of Tanzania.
Yeah.
But once again, exactly like you just described now, their life is so simple. It's all about meat and just having enough food and water, and then it raining or not.
Yeah.
And like if it's a full moon, it's harder to hunt because they talk about this, but
there's so much light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're only worried about these basic things, but they're always focused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they look happier as well, you know what I mean? They don't look unhappy.
No.
And their life is substantially harder by Western standards, you would say.
Yeah.
But I think that also ties to maybe the education system, definitely, but also people's lives are too easy.
Yeah.
So it promotes, I think that people get bored as a result because they don't have to keep doing things.
Yeah, for sure.
And that definitely is one of the many factors that affects depression. Obviously, there's many more, but you'll look at those societies as well. Nobody's killing themselves. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's right, and like a lot of people like lack purpose.
Yep.
You know, where like, you know, for those tribes, their purpose is survive.
Yeah.
So like, well, their purpose is, I don't know, survive, but also have a good time doing it. I don't know. I don't know these people intimately, but like I would, you know, they at least when they wake up in the morning, they know they have to do something, because if they don't, they'll die.
Yep.
But whereas here, it's like, I don't really have to do anything. I can sit in bed and watch TV all day and just like Uber Eats. Yeah. You know?
And it's so funny that that's so accessible to everybody in Australia.
Yeah.
Because in South Africa, if you're just chilling, you're not going to order Uber Eats.
No, yeah.
Like, your life is completely different. But in Australia, like, you can people are afforded the opportunity, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. Like, it is good to some degree.
Yeah.
But it makes people less hungry. The social welfare system in Australia.
Yeah.
It's very generous.
Yeah.
Very generous.
Yeah.
Like, you can live a comfortable life very easily on just getting money from the government. Like, that's
really
insane.
It's a really bad thing.
If you were to say that to people in South Africa, that like, I have said it to people in South Africa, and they were like extremely shocked because in South Africa, like, you have to keep working, you have to keep going. Like, family might help you, and some people have easier lives because of that. But if nobody's got your back, like, you're gonna grind, otherwise you're gone.
It's increasingly more and more you can get more and more money from the government.
I know, right?
Every year you can seem to be able to get more.
Yeah, and if you're good at filling out the forms. I worked as a disability and mental health support worker for a while, so I got paid from the scheme that I'm talking shit about. But yeah, it's not bad. I think people definitely deserve some help when they need to, but I think it can't be so easy where people become so dependent on it.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, when they do become dependent on it, like, it's like, then the state kind of runs it.
Yeah.
You know, like, they kind of own that person a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Man, and it runs the system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they get all the support, so they go to all these doctors and stuff, and of course those doctors, not all the time, I'm sure there's plenty of awesome doctors, but of course the doctors, because they're going to make money as well, and other reasons, they prescribe them all these specific medications that they need. Not saying they don't need it, maybe they do, but then they're almost forced to take this medication until somebody decides otherwise. And definitely, I'm sure there's people that I don't know, getting all this government medical aid and stuff that aren't, but it's kind of, that supports the pharmaceutical system, and in a way that helps the government. Maybe.
No, it does.
I don't know.
It's all linked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like these people, they drink at the same bar. You know, like, I mean, the guy who runs Pfizer probably knows the guy who creates the policy that, you know, helps Pfizer get the fucking, you know, the green light to make the vaccines, etc. You know, like it, or, you know, they seem to know each other. You know,
obviously, because when you're high end, maybe we're gonna get headhunted of the conversation. I don't know if it's.
They're coming. They don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, plenty of people talk about them.
Yeah.
But we're definitely no experts on this, by the way. We're just talking
neither
smack.
of us have a fucking idea.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think besides the vaccine, there's also a big dependence on other drugs, melatonin. Like, I had this one client that was deemed psychotic by a doctor because people reported him because he was but this guy was lonely. You know what I mean? Like, he'd been through some shit in his life. He felt like he hadn't achieved stuff. He was just sad. But super intelligent guy. And he was ordered by his description as well, but I also went to a meeting with them, and so and where the doctors decided whether he's going to keep going, and obviously
keep going with what,
the medication.
Oh right, yeah. And they decide.
They talk with him, and it's kind of like a prison thing almost. They talk with him and they ask him questions, and depending on the answers, they make a decision. But this is a panel of maybe 5 people, so it's somewhat diverse. Obviously, but who's to say those 5 people don't have incentives to prescribe a certain thing? Because I don't think the natural solution can't be you have to go to a doctor once a month to get injected.
No,
you know what I mean? With something that made like his sex life impossible. You know what I mean? Made him depressed, made him shaky. Had all these negative side effects.
No. Like, that's terrible.
But hey, I could be completely biased here, so.
Can I add, because I'm fucking as biased as you on this one. It's a fucking nightmare.
It's crazy.
It's a fucking nightmare.
And all this money is from the government, but yeah, it is. It's too much, man.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous, man. It doesn't even like fix the problem. It just masks the
100%.
problem. Like, it's like,
it makes it worse, if anything.
Yeah.
Because people rely on it. Like, I don't know.
But then they're a customer for life.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Then they keep coming back and fucking pouring their money into these pills, which are making them miserable.
And just like any other drug, you become dependent on it. You know what I mean? Just like anything, whether it's sugar or cocaine, whatever it is, right? You become dependent on it. So they're giving them this, so then one day they're off it, and then now everything's out of whack because
Yeah.
they've been on it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they go crazy. Oh, no, you're back on something
Yeah.
else now. Like, there's got to be that's just like, there's so many avenues of this discussion, but I
Yeah.
thought about it a lot working in the industry.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And yeah, it really annoyed me. And I'm one that I'll take. Obviously, Western medicine is very good, right? And it has the power of being great, but
Yeah.
I try and avoid it unless I really need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me too. I'm the same. I'm kind of
Like-
if you got a cold or a cough, take like 5 drops of oregano oil in the morning and night, and you'll be fine. If you have fucking
Oregano oil. I've never heard of
oil,
that.
yeah, it's like nature's perfect antibiotic. Every ailment you have, you can fix with a combination of good diet, rest, water, exercise,
Exactly.
and like even any
say this as
dude,
we're smoking a cigarette.
yeah. I'm not healthy. I'm not fucking healthy, but like, okay, if you ever have like a serious fucking health issue, read How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy by Paul Chek, and then read Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and you'll fix pretty much anything.
Yep.
You will be able to fix it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's because I had lead poisoning last year.
Yep.
So I went heavy into health, like, and trying to figure out how to get myself better. And like fucking the rabbit holes I went down. But like dude, like,
Can you pass your filters, please?
yeah, the amount of people who've been able to fix just with like deep meditation,
Yep.
like illnesses which they were told they had like months to live or whatever, and like they're better. The
Yep.
guy who wrote the book like fixed his spine completely, couldn't walk.
What's it called? How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy?
So that one's more about that one's more for getting your body in the perfect level of health.
Yep.
There's like it's the guy who does it is a bit of a G. He's like shredded, like he's just this shredded bald fucking 6-year-old guy.
Medium.
Yeah.
It's good because they on the media they'll, sorry to go on a tangent,
Not at all.
but they'll talk about the same, like that girl that got kidnapped in WA.
Yeah.
I heard about it as I was on a plane, but
Yeah.
I heard it from so many other people. They talked about that for 3 weeks apparently.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's a like,
Yeah.
but once we know already,
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they just try and create a dramatic story
Yeah.
to keep people hooked.
Everything's alert, breaking
Yeah.
news, flashing red, and it's like it's about death, or it's about sex, or it's about money, and then sports at the end.
Yeah.
And then and whether it's going to be sunny tomorrow, it's like
Yeah, it's just, I think people are realizing that
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
With like so much access to so many different forms of media, including this podcast, hopefully, people can listen to normal people speak,
yeah,
and not people who have been persuaded by a big corporation to say a certain thing
Yeah.
because it's going to get the views, which is going to get the money. You know what I mean?
and who are on the take as well,
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't know, it's pretty, but it's cool because like what it means is that like as a collective, like the people who, most of us who aren't that, like we have to work together and like come together, and we are, in like pretty incredible ways, and it's not going to be easy, but I think like ultimately we'll flourish from this, like
From the coronavirus lockdowns and stuff.
yeah. The whole, because like what I saw amongst like people around me, like was, now that the external world was just a shit fight, and you couldn't get any, like you couldn't go out, you couldn't do anything, so you weren't having like that stimuli to like keep you happy.
Yep.
So you had to like find something else to keep you happy, and most people were turning within, like maybe like taking up yoga or meditation or something along those lines. And
So you think, so you're obviously, before I ask this question, you're pro meditating. Like, what's your belief system? What do you believe in?
well, I believe in like a universal force, I guess, like kind of like, I guess, God, but like more like the idea that like everything is conscious. So like every plant, every rock, every atom in your body is conscious, and then it's in like this divine intelligence which is which coordinates how it is that works on the material plane. So so it's like the consciousness that runs through you that
Yep.
creates Neil is the same at its source as the one that creates me. So effectively, we're the same thing, in my opinion. Like just like different versions of the same thing, and we're like learning. From what I think is like we're all learning specific things, so that the single source consciousness can experience these things and just experience life, and then we kind of like go from life to life, learning different things and getting better at them, and
Yeah. So you think you believe we have multiple lives?
Yeah,
Because we're just one conscious being and we're not actually us.
Yeah, effectively, but like we are us, but like we're not at the same time.
So is this got a name?
Well, I guess it's pretty like those kind of ideas are kind of talked about a lot in Eastern philosophy, like Hinduism and Buddhism and
that
yes. kind of thing.
So do you think this belief system is like molded or sculpted, like those beliefs are used as a template for this?
In a lot of ways, yes. But I think like most major religions, they all kind of say similar things. Like there's
100%
obviously
agree.
obviously there's differences, but mostly they're kind of speaking the same truth.
Yeah, like all the Abrahamic religions, the three of them at least, they've got very similar values.
Yeah.
So similar, but a lot of people choose to look at why they're different as opposed to the 99 things that make them so similar.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I 100% agree. And then if you go to all the other faiths as well, they're all pushing kind of the same values to be peaceful, to find peace in with yourself, and to be a good person to others and a lot of others, but broadly speaking. So I 100% agree. But don't you think your belief system kind of does as well? Because you talk about this divine source of power, which kind of sounds like Allah or God or Yahweh.
Yeah.
Or but Hinduism and Buddhism, do they have one source? Is there one God?
From what I understand, like I know that there are different gods, like Hindu gods.
Yeah, there's hundreds actually.
Yeah. But I think potentially those are like, kind of like, I'm not 100% sure, and this could be completely wrong, but I get the feeling that they're kind of like aspects of like nature, or they're aspects of like different experiences or different parts of like the human experience. So. Like say you have like a goddess of love or a goddess or a god of power or something like that.
And each god is aims to teach you a different set of lessons.
Exactly. But I could be completely wrong about that.
I'm not too knowledgeable about Buddhism and Hinduism, but basically at least. But I'd like to learn more about it as actually through this podcast. I'd like to learn more about it's endless the amount of religions I can learn about on this podcast.
So many. So many.
But this one girl, her name is Nadine. She's from Namibia. I think you met her.
Yeah, I did briefly.
She's crazy. So she says she would classify herself as a. Oh, sorry if I'm ruining this for you, Nadine. She classifies herself as she believes in omniism.
Okay.
Which apparently is the acceptance of all religions being the same thing essentially. I'm probably butchering this explanation, so I'll ask her again when I talk to her.
Yeah.
But it accepts all religions to have like that they all have the same common goal, and that there's one higher power talking to everybody through different methods.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot. Like that's kind of what I think as well, and like it makes sense that there would be differences from one religion to another because like there are cultural differences.
Yeah, massive cultural difference.
So it's like I can't think of an example right now, but like there are so many things which apply to one group of people that don't apply to another, and it's like it makes sense that there would be differences in how they think they should live just because of the landscape they live in or their cultural heritage or their history, so there are so many things which like separate them, but like it's superfluous. It doesn't really at the core it's all the same. So I kind of agree with what she's saying. Like,
I think I do too, but I think I'm a far way from that personally. Like I think I've got a lot of learning to do. I mean, I think there's approximately 4,500 religions that have existed. So once I've learned about all of them, it's going to be a long time. Like I think I'd be close to the end of my life before I get close. I don't know. But there's some I'm really interested in, including that one. And there's another one. I met a few people sorry if I'm waffling here for a bit.
Not at all.
But I met a few people. So most of the islanders, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, Tonga, I've met a lot of people. I was working with them on the farm, and they are all Christian.
Yeah.
Hardcore Christians.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think it was the Portuguese and the Spanish, but
Yeah.
whoever came there, the missionaries went hard.
Did a good job.
They did a great job. Because everybody there is, I think it's like something like over 90%.
Fucking hell.
But, and every time I ask them, what's your original religion
Yeah.
of the islands?
Yeah.
Because obviously they had an original
Yeah.
belief system.
Yeah.
Most of them always tell me, like, and I'm not simplifying it. They always tell me, oh, we used to be cannibals. And I'm like, nah, that's not a faith. You know what I mean? That sounds like what the missionaries told the people.
Yeah.
That's wrong because that's cannibal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not discrediting their faith.
No.
They're
no.
devout. They're devout Christians,
Yeah.
and I think they what do you mean? They prosper from it.
Yeah, for sure.
From their belief and their.
I was a Christian for 8 months.
Oh, for 8 months.
Yeah, for 8
So
months.
Yeah. Why only 8 months? Why did you become one, and why did you stop becoming Christian?
Well, because I was an atheist originally,
Yeah.
and like I was raised by two loving parents who were both atheists, so I didn't have any like spirituality in my life at all.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in any of it. And then I had a couple of experiences which I couldn't explain away.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of like experiences with like spirits and kind of some of them bad spirits, and it kind of opened my eyes to the idea that there was something maybe more.
Yep.
And so like the obvious choice, being raised in a Christian country, you know, predominantly Christian for now.
Kind of.
Kind of Christian country, was to go to church.
Yep.
And you know, I didn't believe in heaven and hell ever. I didn't really. I always believed in reincarnation, and I didn't.
This was before you were Christian, right?
Yeah, but even during when I was Christian, I still believed like in reincarnation.
Oh,
yeah.
true. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a pretty bad Christian.
Yeah, I think I don't think they Yeah, I didn't bring it up on Sundays.
Oh,
Because I just would have been fucking.
So then, why
slaughtered.
So it just, you felt like it explained the things that you'd gone through?
No, I don't think it explains some of it, but in reality, like I was going to church and I was talking to Christians about their faith and learning about it, but I wasn't ever really like, I didn't believe in the second coming of Christ at any point. So
What?
yeah.
Oh, the second coming, as in he's coming soon, right?
Yeah, that's the belief for a Christian, but I kind of saw that as an allegory. Like as
What's that word?
Like a metaphor,
Allegory. Okay,
yeah. So I thought that potentially it meant that, because like there are a lot of things in the Bible which, as we were saying before, it's all about like within, you know, and so like, you know, it says in the Bible like the kingdom of God is within you, and then I read a book about called The Devil's Pulpit, which is how like and like there was another one called The Godhead or something, and it's effectively about this idea that like there are levels to understanding of the Bible. So you've got like your surface level reading, which is like, you know, Jesus walked across water, and it's like, well, does that mean something more? Is that like a metaphor for something more? So I always kind of was like, you know, when a lot of the Christians I was with were very literal in their interpretation, I was more like, oh, that probably means something else. Like, there's no way that like that just means that alone. You know?
Yeah, it's got a meaning or a lesson to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, I do actually think it's possible that someone could walk across water.
Oh, we do it now, right?
Yeah. But, yeah. So, yeah, it's just like alpha. Like, He's pretty switched on as well, so he knows his shit, and you can like tailor. The book like helps you like tailor to your own kind of lifestyle, how to get better.
Yeah.
But then the other one, which is equally as profound, if not more, because of the implications of it, is Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it talks about the idea that if everything is consciousness, and we are consciousness animating a body, then the consciousness came first and not second, so the body didn't create the mind. It was the soul and the mind that creates the body, which means we're constantly in a process of creating our own reality. So like the reason that you and I believe that, that is right there is because our consciousness has agreed that it's there. Yeah, so because of that, you can shift reality and create reality on your own, which means that you can also create a perfectly healthy body on your own, with your own mind.
But obviously by doing some action.
You meditate pretty consistently, and you use like certain guided meditations to help you, but you have to do it pretty consistently. And also it wouldn't help to eat some vegetables or something.
But like if you're doing this meditation hardcore and doing everything to the book, and then you take 3 hours off and go sit on a couch and eat fried food for 3 hours and then come back to it, obviously the results are not gonna...
Probably not. You're right. You're probably still gonna be sick, but I mean, although I don't know, it's hard to know because I mean, maybe you'll get better somewhat still, because like the mind, like what he's doing is you get into this meditative state, and then you raise your emotion to a certain level, and then you kind of like think about the area that you think that you're healthy, right? And so when you're thinking that you're healthy and your emotions are raised and your brainwaves are a certain frequency, your body starts to believe the lie that you're telling yourself effectively. And then you get better. So that's pretty powerful. I don't know how much.
It's a placebo effect.
Yeah, effect. Like in essence, yeah, it is.
Yep. Yeah, I guess so.
It's hard to know whether it's a fucking like whether it actually works. But a lot of people seem to say that it does.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It's maybe something I should try when I
Yeah, when you're sick. Yeah.
I should. It's gonna happen quicker if I keep smoking this. How long do you think you can smoke cigarettes for before you
Dude,
like some people?
It's so bad.
Yeah, I know.
It's so bad. I've tried to quit so many times.
And did you succeed?
Well, I quit for 1 year once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I went through a breakup, and the stress of it.
You started smoking again?
Yeah.
And but the other day, what's the name said you stopped for like 5 days and you started again.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop like in an environment like this, I guess.
Fucking hard.
But for me, when I was working now on the farm for 3 months, I barely smoked.
Yeah.
Like it sometimes like on the farm, there's a few farmers that smoke.
Yeah.
So but so it is hard to constantly say no. But if you just read even one book about it, it's so bad for you. But I mean, also
it's on the packaging as well. It's on the packaging. We're reminded. Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know. I prefer to. If I was going to smoke something, I'd prefer it to be this than vapes.
Yeah, I think vapes could be worse.
I don't know why people think vapes are. It's healthy for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they could be worse.
Fucking lying to themselves.
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked a vape? It's like fucking like. It's like drawing one cigarette in one go. Like it's so harsh on my throat. Do you not?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've always have to like a really small puff with them. But it's like inhaling like some flavor or some shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
I wanna feel the burn.
Yeah, I guess it's the nostalgia.
Yeah, it is.
But I wonder if this will affect my street cred.
Smoking? Yeah, maybe. Maybe get more cred.
But as soon as
I've always maintained it looks dope. Like I don't know. Like,
I think in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, maybe it was normal.
I still think it looks cool now. Like.
True, I guess so. And but what was I gonna say?
You give a guy with like a kind of like dweeby looking guy, right, with like glasses on, like writing in a book or something.
You just described me the other day.
Yeah, at a park, right? No, I'm talking like those wide brim, like wide frame, like not your shades. Like I'm talking like spectacles.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And he's sitting there writing in a notebook, right? And he looks, he looks a little bit dweeby, let's say. right? But then if you give him a cigarette, all of a sudden he's a fucking, he's just a poet. He's a poet like writing in his notebook, And it's just like it changes the frame so much.
True. Well, maybe it'll change the frame. Hopefully, I don't know about in 2021, but maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's a fantasy I'm holding on to because I don't want to quit.
I do want to quit though, but it's difficult. But I have most of the time I in this environment I'll smoke.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I'm by myself I don't smoke. I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I have if I don't buy them I have I don't have the craving or I need to go get a cigarette.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's fairly easy for me to.
That's
stop.
really good because I got the craving.
Yeah. Obviously the craving's there to some degree.
Yeah, man.
Some people will be listening and just think, oh, this is bullshit. He's lying. He's just making.
Dude, it's so annoying, man. I quit, right? And then, my singing went worse. And then I started smoking again, my singing gets better.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what, the croakiness in your voice?
Yeah, but it'll get better over time if I stopped and I actually get... So it goes like this. The level I'm at now, then if I quit, right? But then after a while, after I quit, it goes to here.
Yeah.
But it's the initial drop. But in the past, 2 weeks, it's been like that, and then back to that. So I'm like,
So back to your music, your singing.
Yeah.
Do you have any other songs for us?
Uh...
I mean, it'll make the scene with the ciggy in your mouth.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. All right, okay. All right. Well, I got one, but it's kind of not done, and it's the lyrics I'm probably gonna forget.
You could finish that. Oh, okay.
No, it's alright. It's alright.
What's it called?
Impulse Eclipse's Bride or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, you haven't really.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or Silver Eclipse Bride. And there's gonna be I don't know, something else. I'm feeling something. I know it seems right. Square the circle theme night. You did never fit right. And though her lips they were kryptonite for the fiend, as you lie there next to me, and I go into, I fade into you. And she swept the ocean in all its blue. Oh, my lover, she swam along with me through the dark night, while the devil on my shoulder, he whispers in ties, throws the twins in the air. And then it kind of there's more, but it's kind of there's work to do, you know what I
okay.
mean?
Yep.
It's one of those ones, but
But that's fucking
Yeah.
dope, man.
cheers.
That's awesome. I can't believe you wrote that yourself.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah,
That's insane.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to write?
Well, it was really weird how it happened, not weird, pretty normal.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, you write it on the guitar.
yeah, so
Yep.
often I'll come up with the chords first, and then I come up with the vocal melody
okay, yep.
after. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I always have an idea of what I want the lyrics to say when I'm writing the chords. They seem to tell a certain story.
Yep.
And then I'll just play the chords and hum into my phone, and then I'll hum syllable sounds or whatever, and then weirdly the lyrics just come from those syllable sounds a lot of the time.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
So it's just, you're gifted.
Huh?
Because it's just something you can do. Or is
Well,
it
Well, yeah, yeah. I like, yeah. Well, yeah, yes, yeah.
It comes easy to you, right?
Well, not easy, but like, easier. I
Yeah,
guess.
for sure. Because I don't think I could. I mean, I probably could, but I just don't believe. I guess that I could do that. That's insane.
I feel like you could, man.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
got a pretty nice voice.
Yeah, I can sing. I can sing like,
Yeah.
but in a deep register.
Yeah,
Like I can't hit notes when I try and go too high or anything.
yeah.
But I don't know if I could play the instrument. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, that just takes time. Yeah, it just takes time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll try the piano one day.
Like,
Probably
I'm
not
no,
guitar.
Oh yeah, that'd be piano. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can learn Vienna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
piano,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
man. For that song is the main reason I want to learn the
Yeah,
piano.
yeah. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah, it is, man.
Mm.
But yeah. On that note, where can people
Nowhere
Find you.
yet.
nowhere yet?
Nowhere yet.
Oh, true.
But like, give
Is that a platform or no? That's a good name for a platform.
Nowhere yet. Yeah. Actually, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
You should make your own platform. Nowhere yet. Well, somebody might steal it now. But
Nowhere yet.
okay, so when is it? When can people access your stuff?
Within a year.
And that's going to be recorded with your band.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
going to come up here.
Well, no, they live here. Well, I have at least one. I've one. So, but I'm not a Christian anymore.
Why did you stop being Christian? Why did you become unsaved?
Yeah. Well, I read a lot, and
Yep.
then those books changed my mind.
What did you read?
Yeah, the Devil's Pulpit
Oh,
was the
the
big
devil.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that was the book that changed your mind, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because this was a reverend who remained a reverend. So he's still. The thing is, it's not like I turned away from Christianity completely, in the sense that I don't think that the things that are written in the Bible are bullshit. It's more that I think there's a deeper meaning, and I think that deeper meaning has been purposefully not taught so that the majority of people can look at it and kind of be controlled by the literal.
Yeah, that sounds interesting,
Yeah,
actually. That's
yeah.
really... And it's also been watered down a lot, I think, through... I mean, I could be wrong, but like how many versions are printed over and over again. If you've ever played a game of Chinese whispers, where you tell a simple sentence and it goes through 20 people, it
Yeah.
always changes, right? So that would happen when you're rewriting something, I think, and you're changing it to simpler English or more modern English, and the meaning might change, and then that deeper meaning could possibly change as well, right?
Exactly, and like it was originally Greek, I think ancient Greek.
Yeah,
and
it was.
or Hebrew.
No, it was...
Hebrew.
I think it was Greek, because that was
Yeah.
the language of that area at the time.
Yeah, and Christos, so like Jesus Christ, like the suffix for Jesus is JES, and that is to do with the sun.
Yeah.
And then the Christos means like oil. So in like it meant oil. So when it says in the Bible that Jesus was crucified, what I read in this book and what I kind of believe to be true is that there's this thing that happens in the body where if you live like a life of like purity, including like sexual purity, you eat like you don't eat meat and these kinds of things, so this oil goes, the cerebrospinal fluid goes down the spinal column, sits in the sacral plexus, and then comes back up 33 vertebrae, which is why Jesus was crucified at 33, and then it sits in the pineal gland, and then it anoints, it crucifies your mind, because the original meaning of crucifixion was multiply by 1,000. So it's not actually, so a lot of it's changed, a lot of it's like different from the original meaning, and like, so that's why I'm not a Christian anymore per se.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I had no idea you... I'm so surprised that we went into this topic. I had no idea you were so knowledgeable or had such an opinion on Abrahamic religions and on other beliefs. But you still feel like you need to believe in something? That you need to know the answer of what this all is?
I used to. Now it's less.
Yeah.
I think. Now it's just like, I feel like I've got a pretty solid bedrock of what I believe, and I'm open to that changing, but now like I'm less, because I was pretty compulsive in trying to figure out what was going on for a while,
As a
And-
lot of people are,
For
really.
sure,
Yeah.
man. And like, but it can eat you up a little bit
Yeah.
because you never really know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of my belief, really.
Mm.
I think if I had to put a description on it,
Mm.
is that I don't know,
Yeah.
and I admit to not knowing.
Yeah.
And I'll spend my life trying to learn about why people believe what they believe.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy to die not knowing.
Yeah.
And because, like, if you look at how huge we are, whether you believe in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism,
Yeah.
Confucianism, Taoism, whatever it may be,
Mm.
is the world. One thing that's factual is the world is huge,
Yeah.
right? The solar system is huge. The galaxies are huge.
Mm.
Space is apparently infinite,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't think we are on the level yet where we are able to understand that. As much as we'd like to think we are,
Yeah.
I think it's way beyond our heads.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Maybe when all that Neuralink thing comes out and we're connected to computers, maybe then we'd be somewhat closer.
No, fuck that, bro. Fuck that.
But my point is, I just don't think we're on the level. So that's why I don't think I'll ever. I'm happy with not knowing. I'm content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's I still, you know, and I'm sure you're the same. You still like to learn. You
Oh,
know,
100%.
try
Yeah,
to
about
learn.
all the religions, theology, and
Yeah.
also even this belief system,
Yeah.
which I don't exactly have a name for it. Is
Yeah.
it the universe? Is it spiritualism? Is it?
Mm.
And then we come onto the topic of what's this thing called that everybody's talking about? Not everybody, but some people. Human design.
Oh yeah, bro.
What is that part of universalism or spiritualism?
Yeah, well, I'm no expert, but from what I understand, there's this thing called the I Ching, which there's apparently human design is like this it's like an amalgamation, like all these different ideas are kind of brought together by this guy. It's relatively recent.
By which guy?
I think his name was like Ra or something. Oh no, I
The
don't
mighty
know.
god Ra.
Yeah, no.
I'm big back there. No.
Yeah, some dude, effectively, just some dude.
Some dude,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
qualifications whatsoever.
Yeah.
I need to check this guy out actually.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff, man.
'Cause-
Gene Keys as well. Gene Keys.
Gene Keys.
Gene Keys is
that a person?
fucking hectic. No, it's
Oh,
it's
Gene Keys.
Yeah.
Keys for your genes.
yeah. Or it's like this I know a little bit more about. This kind of an offshoot of human design. It's like there are these every human has apparently 64 genes, and some are more activated within an individual. So and there are levels to that gene expression. So there's the shadow, which is where you're not living to your fullest potential, and the negative manifestation of that gene shows up in you. And then there's the gift, so you turn the weakness into the strength. And then there's a third level, which is called the city level, which is where you get to that when you become like an enlightened master. So
Is this World of Warcraft? Level up? No, I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking. Gene Keys. Okay,
Yeah.
so people need to look at Gene
Yeah, I got
Keys.
the book if you want to read.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm here for 4 days, but I'll have a skim
yeah,
through
yeah,
it.
true. It's a big book.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm a slow reader. I'm reading
Yeah.
this other book about an Aboriginal king in the 20s in Australia. It was written by a white author at the time, but
Yeah.
he writes it very objectively.
Yeah.
He doesn't like speak negatively about
Yeah.
Aboriginal people, and so,
That's
so he
good.
just writes it literally, tells the story about their interactions with the Western people in Australia at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty indulged in that at the moment. But
What's the king's name?
Nemaruk.
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 Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it
Alright.
means. Oh, no, it doesn't mean. But in the book, he refers to it meaning tiger, I think.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean tiger,
Okay.
obviously, because there were no. Or maybe it does. Maybe that's the closest translation that could come.
Tasmanian tiger, we had those.
To. Yeah, but this is also in Northern Territory, I think. But
Okay.
but yeah, I do need to read more, definitely. But back to the whole belief system thing. Tell us about human design. Can you give us a brief description?
Yeah, so effectively you get, like, when you do your human design, you get this chart.
Yeah.
And it has like there are different types of people. So there's like a manifestor, a generator, a projector, and what it means is, like, effectively what it's saying you should do is tailor the way that you operate in the world so you can best, like, benefit from that. So I'm a generator, so what a generator does is they study, they learn, they hone their craft, but they don't necessarily go out looking for opportunities. They just do things, and then they sit back and wait.
Yeah.
And then it comes, and the right thing will come based upon the amount of work that you've done, kind of thing. So I'll give you an example. Like when I arrived at this hostel, I didn't have any work, and I needed a job, and I just spent my time hanging out with friends, and like doing like tarot card readings for friends, and in doing that, just like hanging out with friends and doing tarot card readings for friends, I got a job at the hostel doing tarot card readings, and I got a job next door through a friend doing cleaning, and it's like I got that that happened on the same day, and it's like I didn't have to send out any resumes. I just kind of like networked and did something that I really enjoyed doing and loved doing, and then the opportunity just came.
Yep.
The same thing with like meeting, other musicians to work with. I just like play my music. I don't necessarily go out looking for them, but like I go and I respond to things that happen in my environment rather than going out and looking to make it happen.
Yep.
Whereas like a manifester will go out, look to make things happen, and then they will.
Yep.
Which is how I was taught to be. Like I was taught to go out and be hungry and like.
And so what do you think I am?
I wouldn't be surprised if you could be. I don't know.
So you're pretty much breaking people up into categories.
Yeah.
And then those categories define what that person's personality or energy is most likely going to be like.
Yeah. Well, I think it's less about personality and more about just how it is that things happen around them.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, like
but
in that kind of way.
And
yeah.
how many categories are there? So there's a projectionist.
Yeah.
There's a generator, a manifester.
Yeah, and then there's a manifesting generator, which is like a mix between the two.
So this sounds
you could be that one.
I'm a manifesting
You
generator.
could be.
I reckon.
I reckon you could be. Yeah.
So, what is this similar to? I don't want to be sorry if I'm offending you if I'm laughing at you.
Yeah. No, you're not offending me at all, bro. Not at all.
I feel like you're the type of person that can deal. Like you don't care.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
If I laugh at anything you believe.
Yeah.
But I know when I've talked to other people, you know what I mean. I'm super respectful because I'm not at that level with them. But that's cool. But so it's kind of have you seen that book where there's this guy and he splits people into a bear, a wolf, a something else, and he gives them different animal characters or whatever.
No, I haven't, but that sounds pretty cool.
There's 4 different. It's the same kind of thing, really. So. Yeah, there's 4 different characters and each, not character, but type of person.
Yeah.
And each person will achieve things in different ways.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same type of thing, right?
Effectively, yeah.
Except when I saw this human design, check out the human design chart online, just Google it. It's like lines connecting to each other or something. Like 4 blocks. It looks like a guitar almost.
Yeah, legit. And like it has like there's all like so you get like a map of the human person. She sings like you've never heard anything like it in your life. Like it's like but it's not just the sound of her voice. It's like when she plays in front of you, she emits this joy.
Yep.
And like fuck, she played for us the other night, and we like there was like two of us in the room, and she played, and we're just like
mesmerized.
I was like, like what the fuck was that? Like, oh my goodness.
She plays the guitar as well.
Yeah, she's fucking gifted. Like she plays it like well and truly at a level I can't play it. Like
really?
she's
So you reckon she makes you better?
Oh man, I'm so lucky to have her, bro. So lucky. And we vibe as well, and we think the same thing. So it's just like.
And you can't say her name right now, I guess. Probably not.
No, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Okay. Yeah.
But it's a pretty name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, but on Instagram, can people follow you there?
We will. But not yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like your personal Instagram though?
We only met 3 weeks ago. Me and this girl. Because I've only been up here for 2 months.
Oh, true. I thought you was...
Yeah.
True.
No, but you will be able to find us. And our band name will be Motto Maya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are like doing this 100% together. You're not doing your own thing if she's doing her own thing.
No, we're doing it together, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're not doing anything else on the side?
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because the goal is to do 1 album, and then I want to get into like some kind of like healing like work.
Healing work.
Yeah, like kind of like natural therapies and stuff.
Yep. And I presume you're gonna stop smoking when you do that.
Maybe. No fucking promises. No promises. Although, what a fucking hypocrite. You know, like.
Yeah, I think we both covered that. We're definitely
Yeah.
hypocrites.
Yeah, yeah.
But aren't we all? I think
Yeah.
most people are, and they don't realize it.
At least we admit it.
Yeah, that's it. But man, this has been an absolute awesome. I think. Don't tell the others, but I think my favorite podcast so far.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, fucking oath, bro. Fucking oath. Well, I mean, I'd love to do it, you know, whenever I see you next.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah.
100% we'll have you on again.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll have a more professional setup then.
This
But-
is perfect, though, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And it's going to be cool, like, watching the progressions of you being, like, outdoor in the forest
Yeah.
to where you land.
With this-
Yeah.
in the
yeah,
back
yeah,
constantly,
exactly.
like that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, to like see the different landscape every
Yeah.
time I have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
But I think more professional in the way that I'll have actual microphones set up so the people can hear us better.
True. What, those movable microphones, you know how, like,
Yeah.
they move around and shit, like, you know?
Not that fancy.
Okay, maybe not that fancy.
Just a
yeah.
wire coming down and
Yeah.
connecting on your
Yeah,
shirt.
They can hold it, yeah.
No, it'll connect on your shirt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
dope.
so it'll just be right there. I think
Okay,
something
cool.
simple like that. It has to be mobile. But nah, for sure, man. I guess I'll have to come back here to see you. Hey.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, we'll just to the area.
Yeah.
I'll
this
be
area.
around, man. I mean, not allowed to leave now. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You have to stay between these two big lines.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was a good unbuckled discussion.
Yeah, it's been dope.
Cheers, man.
It's been dope.
We'll see you next time on the next unbuckled discussion.
Body, and then there's all these like different like energy centers, which is based off the I Ching, I think, which is
The
like
I
some-
Ching.
Yeah, it's like a Chinese thing.
Oh, okay. So this might be built off Taoism or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
because you're talking about energies, right?
Yeah.
And Taoism believes all about
yeah.
energy connecting to other energy, affecting each other.
Exactly,
That's where
and
feng shui comes from.
Yeah, and like the energy lines along the body and that kind of thing.
So, okay, maybe this is. See, I've read a bit about Taoism, but I need to learn more about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's really interesting, like, because it's existed for so long in
Yeah.
one place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it hasn't spread too much, but in a way it has.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you should read the Pooh of Tao. It's about Winnie. It's like Winnie the Pooh, but like the author has made it about Taoism.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah,
Taoism or Taoism, is there two pronunciations?
I think it. Yeah, I think there are.
Yeah.
I think there are two. I've seen it
The
spelled both
Pooh
ways.
of Tao.
Yeah.
I'll check it
My
out.
best mate gave it to me as a going
Yeah.
away present.
Oh,
It's a great
true.
book.
Yeah, but I'm interested to find a Taoist person or a Taoist person.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting one in Brisbane actually.
Yeah.
To talk to them as well and see what it's about. But so you read tarot cards. Is that
Yeah.
connected anyway to this universalism, human design?
I've got a real interest in like the occult, you know, occult knowledge, like occulted knowledge. Occult just means hidden, but effectively like it talks, it's like it's a field of knowledge that is kind of, you're not taught it, you got to find it,
Yeah.
effectively. So the tarot kind of is like that, although it's pretty mainstream, but like Mum always read her tarot cards, and ours when we wanted. So that was kind of in my life already, but she's not spiritual, and it like she kind of believes in God, I think, but it's hard to know. But yeah, I think like they all kind of fit in with each other. That is kind of in the same way that all the religions seem to
Be similar.
Like,
Do you think
yeah.
they fit in with each other because you conveniently make them fit into each other?
Maybe
Like in your mind, or do they actually fit into each other?
Well, okay, so like astrology and tarot definitely fit with each other. I mean, tarot is like very old.
Is it based off astrology?
I think there's astrological associations for all of the cards. So I think in a lot of ways it is. And also the deck has changed. Like the tarot that I use has only been around for about 100 years, but there's older decks, and the origin of the tarot is kind of debated as well.
It's older. I did not realize it was 100 years old.
Yeah, or well older as well. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I think the oldest Marseille decks that we know of are like 1500s, maybe.
They definitely got murdered by as
yeah.
witches.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%.
That's who was getting man.
Yeah, sink or swim.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did not know it was that old, man.
Yeah.
I kind of almost didn't give it as much respect as as much time to learn about as
Yeah.
I am learning about other faiths and,
Yeah.
and religions, deities, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But I get maybe I don't know if something being newer doesn't if it deserves the same respect, but maybe
Yeah.
it does. I don't know what's that religion of the spaghetti monster?
Yeah. I respect it.
That just got like invented like a
Yeah.
couple of years ago, and
Yeah,
it's now an official religion.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird.
Because I mean, in reality, anything could be. You could make up anything and just say this is what I believe. And,
Yeah.
like, make it a religion,
Yeah.
and it's been done 4,500 times.
But so you're saying you implying that the other religions are made up?
Well,
Not
everything's kind of made up, But like, it doesn't mean it's not true or real.
Yeah.
It just it's all. I mean, someone had to make it up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But
Doesn't mean that it wasn't like divinely inspired, maybe, but
yeah,
I feel like some of them are less. Maybe the spaghetti monster one's a little bit less.
yeah, but
less someone channeling a divine source and more just some stoner wanting to fucking I don't know.
you don't seem like a person like when I first talked to you.
Yeah.
Your style like a person that's into all these deep topics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do you get that a lot?
Yeah. I think it's confusing for people,
Yeah.
initially. They kind of they look at me and they expect me to be a certain way, and then I'm not.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh.
I would have never guessed that you read tarot cards.
Yeah.
That's definitely an interesting
or
one.
astrology.
You read that as well?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Could you read mine?
Yeah, I could do a little bit of it. Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know where my phone is.
Oh, I can do it on my phone if you want. It'll work. Yeah, no, it's not something that I was into growing up, and I guess my style was formed at a time when I wasn't thinking these things.
Yep.
So what's your date of birth?
16th of, oh wow, 16th of the 2nd, 1994. I guess I can edit that out.
Oh yeah, true. And you were born at what time?
I think I was born at 6 a.m.
Okay.
I think,
yeah.
or 6:30 or something.
Yeah, okay. I put 6:15 last time, I think. Alright, and your birthplace was?
My birthplace was Benoni. Benoni, South Africa. Johannesburg. We got
time?
Yeah, I'm gonna change the memory card so it's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we got time for this one,
Yeah,
and then I'll
fucking
change the memory card.
Alright, dope. Alright, so I remember one thing. Okay, so you're an Aquarius, you have your sun in Aquarius, which explains all of your desire to, I remember you saying as a young kid you wanted to do things which was different from other people just because it was different kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Aquarius is the rebel, it's the eccentric, it's the different thinker. So it kind of explains a lot about why you want to go travel, or you want to adventure, or you want something unique or different in your life, not just the mundane 9 to 5, which is. Then you also have your moon in Aries, which means that
My moon in Aries.
yeah,
Okay.
so, your moon's in the sign of Aries, which everyone I know who has the moon in Aries is very vibrant, and they get an idea and they want to do it. They don't necessarily finish the idea, but they get a lot of ideas and they really really excited to start
I'm
them.
hopefully changing that and finish more ideas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
true. I'm the same, bro. Then you've got your Venus in Pisces in your first house, right? So the first house is the house of how you come across to people. It also has a lot to do with how you look. So your appearance. So you know how you said I'm generally pretty reserved and calm. I'm a Capricorn rising, which is why that is. So Capricorns are normally quite serious and steady and calm. It doesn't mean that's how I am on the inside, but you have Venus there, which explains your kind of easygoing, affable nature. You're very good with people. And you're quite you have like it's not that you're romantic, but you have like there's a certain romanticism to you in terms of like the way that you come across and your vibe, and also your story as well, which is impacted by other things. But so you got a really nice chart, and also like if I have a look at like the way in which the planets interact with each other in your chart, it's really strong. Like some people have genuinely hard charts, and you can see it in the way that they are, and the way and how composed they are, and the type of person that they are. But yours is very positive, which I think is pretty clear. So you've got Uranus and Neptune conjunct in your house of friendships, which means
You don't want to say Uranus.
Yeah, Uranus. Yeah, it can be Uranus.
Uranus and what? And Neptune?
Yeah, in your house of friendships.
Yep.
So it means that your friends are going to be eccentric and different, which is good because you're a little bit eccentric and different.
Yep.
But you've got an easy eccentricity because of that Venus in the first house. So it's not like Effie, for example, where he's really eccentric and different, but some people it polarizes people. Yours,
Yep.
It doesn't do that. But you're going to be surrounded by creative, dreamy, eccentric, artistic people, and that's probably where you feel most at home.
That's why I feel so at home here.
Yeah.
I maybe because people are all different here.
Yeah.
So, is that it?
Well, no. One more really cool thing, which I think is really poignant to who you are, is you've got Pluto and Jupiter in your 9th house of theology, and in Scorpio's in your 9th house, and Jupiter's at home in the 9th house, Pluto's at home in Scorpio, and your desire to learn about different theologies and learn about them all and kind of have all that information come in is all Jupiter in that house, because Jupiter's the expansive, benefic planet. It's very good. It's like it does nice things in your chart. So it means that there's not necessarily going to be any structure to what you believe, but it means that you're going to be deeply interested in that side of life.
Yeah.
Which is kind of...
How do I know that you're... we've talked.
Yeah.
How do I know that you haven't just,
because
analyzed my personality?
I know.
And made up some shit?
But that is what I would say regardless.
Are you sure?
I promise.
100%?
Yeah, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, I promise.
How do you think...
It's just handy that I also know that about you.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you just connected it with things that you know about me, but...
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't believe in it, but I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
It's hard to believe that somehow the planet's position on the date of my birth has an effect on the rest of my life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah.
How does it affect me?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so going off what I believe, my idea or not my idea, but the idea that everything is connected.
Yep.
And everything is conscious.
Mm-hmm.
So this is conscious. The only reason that this rock stays in formation and doesn't just dissipate and become just a bunch of atoms is because it's consciously to some level aware that this is its job. So it stays in that form, right? So when the same thing goes for the planets in the sky, and there's this idea of the ether, which is the space in between everything, which is kind of Einstein discredited it, but I think wrongly, and because it had been proven before Einstein by a couple of guys called Michelson and Morley, and they proved the existence of the ether, but it was kind of not taught, and ancient civilizations knew about the ether. It explains why sound and light can travel through the air, and anyway, so the idea is that your soul, it goes through, it incarnates, and then it runs through the planets as you're born, and it passes through the planets, and then they are conscious planets which they emit a certain frequency on the earth, and so when you're born and you take your first breath, you absorb that energy, and
so they're emitting this energy to the earth all the time.
Yes, constantly.
So now I'm not affected by it?
You are, yeah, you are. And what
So that's why my mood might change throughout the year or something?
potentially, yeah, like for sure, like for example, like the day that I got those 2 jobs came to me, which I didn't
Yep.
look for. There was a new moon in my house of friendships, and I got both the job with the tarot through friends and the job with at the cleaning place through friends, or
Yep.
you know, like I met my ex-girlfriend on a lunar eclipse, or
Do you think this also... Sorry to cut you off.
yes, of course.
Do you think this also affects animals? Well, if it affects us, surely it has to, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like
And insects?
yeah, well, it does. I mean, like, have a look at how the moon affects, like, breeding patterns of different animals, and like, even, like, the moon, like, affects, like, the menstrual cycle of women, and, like, all these things, like, it
The
affects
tide.
the tide, you know, all these things, like,
But that's because of gravity. It's got a
Yeah.
gravitational pull.
yeah, that's what they say. I think there's more to it than that. Like, I'm not
Apparently
a...
they're all going to go to the beach hotel together tonight.
Yeah,
The
I'm not. Look, I'm not
girls
100%
had
sure
luncheon.
about that, but I do. What I have seen time and time again is that people who don't believe that astrology can be real, and then I do their charts for them, and they're like, "Oh, that makes sense." And whilst there are general things which I would say, which, you know, a lot of people could then apply, you know, like they could apply that to themselves, much like most people could apply that to themselves.
Yep.
Like a lot of the time, people who are skeptical are skeptical, and so are more like trying to discredit, but then they don't, because they're like, oh, that actually aligns with how I am as a person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think like it's all one big system. So, and every, you know, it's all one thing. So like, and everything affects everything. Like, the trees affect us. You know, the birds affect us. You know, in one way or another. What's to say that, you know, what we see in the sky also?
Affects us,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a good... I can't wait till I find out the answer if that actually does affect us, for sure. And that's why when I'm 80, I'll definitely get that Neuralink thing.
Yeah.
So I can work it out. But I like the idea of all the... Like, I think I definitely agree. I think I agree about nature all being connected to each other in
Yeah.
ways that we can't comprehend and
Yeah.
understand. Even like the root system of trees.
Yeah.
Apparently they communicate with each other in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through like passing of certain chemicals and stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes sense how they can grow in such like
Yeah.
crazy ways and create
Yeah.
forests and
Yeah.
stuff. And then even
Beautiful, isn't it?
fungi. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Waking up here is so good with all the birds and the sounds.
Yeah.
But man, that's I'm glad we talked about that because
Yeah, man.
I didn't. Also, I have to say, your vocabulary is amazing. You
Cheers.
used poignant today. This other word, algory.
Yeah.
What's another word you used? Superfluous.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you always had a extensive vocabulary?
Yeah, I like to read.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
fiction? I mean, all non-fiction or fiction as well?
What's the difference? I always
Non-fiction is
mix them
the
up. Yeah, I always-
non-fiction is real,
Yeah.
and fiction is
Fiction is a
made
kid.
up.
Fiction as a kid. Non-fiction when I was older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. Depends on the story, but it
Yeah.
has to be a very good story for fiction for me now.
Both, yeah.
Um,
the same.
But some books like this Nemoruk book is the gaps are filled in. It's based on true
Yeah.
events,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of it is fiction.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
but yeah, man. Let's change this SIM card because it's about to run
Yeah,
out,
nice
and
one.
I'm worrying about it. 46 seconds.
Yeah, unbuckled discussion. Unbuckled discussion.
This is Unbuckled Discussions.
Unbuckled discussions. Unbuckled discussions.
Unbuckled Discussions.
Welcome to Unbuckled Discussions.